Here we go. Biggie Bull, man, welcome to the platform.
What's
Man,
good?
how you
What's
doing,
good?
man? How life treating you?
Shit, life been good, man. Everything going how it's supposed to go.
Already. What's the first time you on the platform? So as always, I ask everybody, man, what's the meaning behind your name?
The meaning behind my name, so Bull came from football. As y'all know, I used to play for LSU. And then Biggie came in because of so it was these females on campus. So one of them, the first female, my freshman year, I was about to hit. And then she tapped out in like 5 minutes. And so that shit had happened like that. And the second female, she looked and she was like, yeah, you ain't fucking me with that. And then the third female, she didn't even want to go through with it. So it started going around that I was like, yeah, pressure. So Biggie just came along with it.
Okay.
So it was like Biggie Bull.
Okay. And where you originally from?
I'm from here. I've been between G-Lane and Glen Oaks.
Okay. So you say you went to LSU, but what high school you went to?
I went to Woodline.
Went to Woodline.
Yeah.
And what kind of kid you was in school?
I was bad as fuck. I got expelled. I got expelled my junior year for some dumb shit. Then I ended up transferring to a school named East Iberville, transferring back there. And it just went like downhill from there. And then like I was good at sports, but it's like if I ain't had sports, then I was like bad, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't had nothing to focus on. Because everybody knows school ain't for everybody, but school's kind of like boring on some shit.
Yeah. And what you think attributed to that? You come from a single parent household? Oh
Yeah, I came from a single parent. Like I would talk to my dad probably like every 3-4 months out the year or whatever. Or whenever me and my mama got into it about some shit, she'd hit him up and try to get him to like give me conversations and shit over the phone. Cause this nigga, he in a whole nother state.
Man. I ask people, man, do you think that that affected you growing up, not really having a strong relationship with your dad? Because it definitely affected me not having one with mine.
It did. Like not having a father in the household, that's like a big chunk of your life that's gone. Cause a lot of things that your mama probably couldn't handle, he probably could have handled. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably could have deterred you away from some of that stuff that you got influenced by. Versus her, all she could do is try to tell you about it or try to tell you what your father would have did in this situation versus your father being there actually telling you how it is. You know what I'm saying? And actually putting you through it.
Okay. All right. So how does an athlete mix in with the music? You know what I'm saying? Like which one came first, the music or the sports?
The sports came first. Like I wasn't even supposed to go to LSU. That's the thing.
So you lucked up? Or?
I lucked up because it's like, so, like I said, I was doing sports. I was doing track and I was playing football. And then I got ruled ineligible because I had got injured. And then like that whole junior year, since I got ruled ineligible, I just started doing dumb shit. And then that led to like me getting into it with like this whole little group of females and shit who was talking about getting their cousins and shit on me. So I had played a little trick. Like I had got my uncle. My uncle had a BB gun. He looked like a real guy. So I had posted that shit on Facebook, and I was just trying to scam. And they brought that shit to school, and them bitches expelled me, talking about I was a threat. So that shit had knocked me out. And
but there had to be a reason why you got into LSU, though. I mean, you had to take some type of test or something, so you got to be some type kind of. I know you're intelligent on a certain level. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So I was smart. It's just the curriculums and shit they teach you in Louisiana is like dumb curriculums. Like it's not no superior shit like you'll see like in like people going to Harvard or people going to like, it's not no shit that you'll see in a private school. You know what I'm saying? Like public school education is like a big difference from private school education. Like it feel like with public school education, they try to keep you in the same spot to where it'll weave out the people who really want to do something with their life and the people who just want to just get their high school diploma and be done versus private school, where with private school, anybody in there could go anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
So you think people in private school they get more of a consolidated education where they like kind of more specific topics they talk about?
Yes.
That what you think? Kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I had a homie who went to Parkview Baptist. He said they had curriculums for engineering. They had curriculums for like if you want to be business or if you want to be do nursing or whatever. Like in private schools, you get like they even had curriculums for art classes and stuff. Like in public schools, we ain't really, you know what I'm saying? You don't really have all that. Plus, they don't really even teach you about like credit courses and stuff like that, or the importance of not being below a certain GPA average to even go to college. So
Do you think some of that falls on the parents though, for to teach you a little bit of that, or you just think that's what the school should teach you if you go to school?
I mean, I could say both, because depending on where we live at, depending on where the parents move at, that's just our situation. That's where we gotta go. So we ain't got no choice. You know, like your mama said, you know, you ain't got no ifs or buts. So what you gotta, where you going and stuff like that.
Fact. Okay. So how do a badass kid get into sports, man? Like what you playing? Football, basketball? What's the choice?
So like I started off, my mama, like growing up, she just was putting me in everything. Like I did swimming, I did tennis, I did basketball. Like for YMCA, I played basketball in elementary. I was like the best one on the team for the YMCA, but you know them, you feel me? So, and then track came along, and I noticed I was good at track, and then I got into the hurdles, and then in middle school came along and met this USA track coach named Jackie Callender, and he had put a number of athletes in the NFL or in the Olympics and stuff. So I started working with him, and that got me between track and football. That got me doing that, and so everything was going good. And then, yeah, that shit happened with like that situation that happened, and I got expelled. And he was so mad at me, and I was mad at myself, but I ain't think nothing of it. And then it just went down, kept going from there. And then he finally had to like sit and talk to me like, look, you got one more year. You got one more shot at this. Like you done set out your whole junior year doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? You got one more try. Because once you leave high school, you're on your own. We can't do nothing for you. So.
And what did you do specifically to get expelled, if you could talk about it?
So like me, I got into a little beef with a whole little group of people. Like it was a bunch of females. Like just on some dumb shit, I was just trying to scam, you know what I'm saying? And they was just talking about how they was gonna get all they people to come, you know, come do me in and shit. So I was like, okay, bet. So I was at my uncle's house, and he had a BB gun. It was a gun. It looked like a gun, but it was a BB gun. So I posted it on Facebook, and I was like, I think I probably said some shit like, play if you want to, and you gonna feel that shit. And then the next day I came to school, I'm talking about that, it was on the weekend. So the next day I came to school, that first day back, I get called in the office, and it had a police officer in there. And I'm like, yo, I'm like, maybe it's something I don't know. They had printed out messages of like me and all them going back and forth and shit. And then how they played it so raw, because you know back then you could delete messages and shit or whatever. They deleted some of the shit they said to make it seem like I was the one, you know, being violent to them. So all the shit that I seen, they didn't see. When I tried to explain that to them, they didn't want to hear it because they felt like they had the proof right in front of them. So I was like, well, it's dead game trying to explain that shit to them. And so
what you learned from something like that?
Like,
if you can go back and do it over, how would you would have made that post?
I mean, if I go back to do it, I probably wouldn't even argue with them. Because like I said, I was just trying to scam, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? To get them off my back talking all that heat. Like, I think at that point, when I didn't have sports in my life, I started becoming a product of my environment. Like, that's probably the first time I was feeling myself becoming a product of my environment, because I used to get called, like, a bullshit and a liar and shit and a stealer. And then, like, I'll be telling people like, nah, it's not it. Like, that's not me. And then when you try to tell people the truth, they still see you as that old you. So I just started becoming like, okay, if that's what they want me to be, then that's what I'm gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when all that started just going in. And that was that point to where it was like I didn't give a fuck type me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's easy to slip into that black hole, bro. Like when you feel like it's just you didn't reach that breaking point, and I know how that feel, bro. You know what I mean?
Because it's like they blame you for so long, and it's like you trying to tell them there's something different, and then it's not. It's like, okay, that's what y'all want me to be. Fuck it, that's what I'm gonna be.
And that's exactly, bro. I understand where you're coming from. 100%. You know what I mean? So, the sports. You know what I mean? So, what Pacific you playing? You playing football or basketball?
I was between football and track.
So football and track. So that what you did at LSU, or you just went there for education purposes?
At LSU, I just did football.
You did football.
I was like.
So you actually played on the LSU football team. Mm-hmm. Okay, and how long you did that? I
did that. So how that went, because I got it. You know what I'm saying. So senior year, I was on my way to the outdoor track championship, and I had a meeting with Coach Nader, who was the athletic director. So I met with him. He said, we see you got a year on here when you was expelled or whatever, so we gonna have to get you through the clearinghouse. And the clearinghouse is basically you gotta have above a 2.5 or a 2.0 in order to play D1 sports. And if you don't got that, then you gotta go to a junior college for 2 years. So I went through so I finished the outdoor track meet. Then we came back 2 weeks later. And it was like, yeah, you ain't eligible. So what we could do is send you to a community college in Mississippi. And if you could sit there for 2 years, either play for them or just work out and practice with somebody. And then we'll recruit and we'll bring you back once you're done there and you graduated. So
would you say sports is big business then?
It is.
That's like a $1 trillion industry, huh? Because I think that it seems like when you play sports, it seems like they can pull strings for you and get you into certain doors and certain places. Seem like if you're willing to, I guess, play ball, you know what I mean, like go along with, you know what I mean, like so yeah, man. So that's what's up. So like, what do you stand right now, like as far as playing sports?
Oh, that shit was done. That shit been done since 2017.
And how old are you now?
Right now, I'm 27, about to be 28 in July.
Okay, well, you still young. I know you probably feel old, but to an older person, you still young. You know what I mean? So let's fast forward to today. You know what I mean? Let's put us on the music. You know, like when do you jump out of sports and jump into the music? Or was you always kind of balancing, both?
No, I used to do music in high school.
Okay.
It's just
rapping, singing, or just rapping? Okay.
It was rap. I used to rap with a lot of friends I had. A lot of them passed away now, but I used to do the rapping thing, but I didn't take it serious. Like for sports took over all that, so I was like, okay, So me leaving LSU and going to California, I ended up becoming an actor during COVID because I got laid off for this job I had. I ended up becoming an actor. And the checks I got from that acting, I was like, let me invest into something else. So I put it into the music. So January 2021, I put out some music and the shit started hitting streams like crazy. And I got a book for a show with Love and Hip Hop star, just Brittany. And that show was in February in Houston. I did that with her. And we was like, after the show, like we pulled up on this dude. I didn't know who he was at first. I know who he is now, but we pulled up and she was like, Junior. She was like, let's go to the club. We went to like 4 different clubs. I'm talking about, we finished our show at like 1 a.m. We went to 4 different clubs all the way to like 7 a.m. I said, God damn, boy, celebrities know how to party, boy. Them bitches know how to go home. So I was like, fuck it.
Then they be at the high class clubs.
Man, what?
We be at we think we be at the high class clubs, but they be at the real deal high class. The
real ones. And what was that? This nigga here though, I didn't know who he was. I just know they kept calling him Junior. And I'm like, why does this nigga look familiar? And we was all in the section and shit like the whole night. And then so come to find out, Like, I look back and I'm like, I look back on it like a week later. I asked somebody, they say, nigga, you was with Jay Prince the whole time. I said, swear to God.
Yeah.
I ain't even know I was with this nigga. Cause look, every time we get out the car, they ain't frisk this nigga or nothing. Like, they just let us walk in behind this nigga. I'm talking about, it felt like he owned the whole goddamn Houston. Like how we was walking in this motherfucker. Like if he wanted a section, they cleared that bitch out.
Oh, bro.
Like,
yeah. So how often you be in Houston? You be in Houston a lot?
yeah, I be in Houston like a couple times. I got to go back out there and promote some of my stuff. I still got
You with Missouri City?
Missouri
Richmond?
City. I ain't been that way yet.
Okay, I know a couple rappers out there, did a couple interviews and stuff like that, man. So, what's later like, man? What you dropped this current so we can go cop it off iTunes? What you got going on?
Right now, I dropped this hit called How Many. That mug been booming. I dropped a TikTok song called Spin Again. That shit shot up by itself. And so now I'm to the point where I'm focusing on getting some features in from artists that's from different parts of the U.S. Like I know how people be trying to get they local people to gravitate towards them, but me on the type of stuff I'm on is like, your local people will gravitate towards you if the music good regardless. Whether you trying to, make the music based locally or make it based like as far as like different cities. So with me, I'm a versatile type of rapper. So I can hop on any type of beat. So on this next project, I got an artist from Memphis getting on there. I got an artist from New York getting on there, Atlanta, Cali, and Miami. So I got all those 3 different type of genres of rap music hopping on there. And I'm gonna hop on all that. And then I got 2 singles that I'm gonna put on there as well.
Okay.
Just to show like that versatility. Like not like I can do a different flow and not be boring and have the same flow where everybody get tired of you and shit.
Right, it's the facts. So what you learning from being in the music business right now, man? What you learning? You got some good feelings about it, or you wish you would have still played sports?
I mean, sports can only carry you so far. Like your body is the temple. Like your mind can keep telling you I can keep going, but your body will be that defining character of if you keep going or not. So sports don't last forever, but your mindset do. So that's how I figure with this music. Like with music, you can keep going with it, however long, because it's not physically, abusing you. Like, maybe the face area, but it's not physically abusing you. You know what I'm saying? You can always change up the music. Sports ain't gonna change. Maybe the rules, but it's not gonna change. So with the music right now, I learned a whole lot. Like, I learned that it's I want to say 90% of it is business and 10% of it is talent. So if you got the good records and all you need is a team and you need to get people behind you, which is why I'm glad that I had that whole year of being on tour and doing all them shows I did to get in different cities and see and connect with different people and learn from them people while connecting to see what I can do on my own in advance as an independent artist.